Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have some more topics to discuss regarding Battlefield 6 that happened over the weekend via some IGN articles that came out and some community discussion and, well, outrage over one particular topic. It's a topic that I'm sure a lot of you will have very, very strong opinions of in the comment section, so I honestly can't wait to get into it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you do enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to follow Battlefield 6 and everything about it, and of course, swing by a stream. All links are in the description. The first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the community outrage. I saw it on Twitter and Reddit. They were talking about skins. Yes, Battlefield 6 skins. The general consensus so far is that the BF6 skins, based on leaks and just official things we've seen as well, is that, well, the community seems to enjoy it. The direction of the game, the aesthetic of the game, seems to be going in a very acceptable direction for the majority of the community. People want gritty realism, military-based cosmetics, and it looks as though DICE is trying to oblige. However, based on a leak over the weekend, there was a skin that came out that looked like something that was sponsored by Monster Energy. It was black and green, and you better believe Reddit and all social media was freaking out about it. I'm sure if you guys were on Reddit, you guys saw the memes going around about this skin. It did quite literally look like a walking Monster Energy can. If you ask me personally, I mean, guys, I don't care about skins, so like, I'm not really too worried about it. However, when people saw this skin, in combination with a statement from a developer from an IGN article interview, this is where the concern got out of control in a few threads, and I'll just read the statement to you right now. I think we're really happy with where we are. We want to be a gritty, realistic shooter. Other games can and should be whatever they want to be, right? Like, we're not, I don't know, Fortnite is pretty goofy, and that game is pretty good, so I think where we end up, we're pretty happy with where we are. We are a gritty, grounded, realistic shooter. That's what we intend to be, and that's what the game is going to look for a while. Now, did you catch that ending? That's what the game is going to look like for a while. Yeah, as you can imagine, the internet really read far too deep into the for a while portion of that, and I saw a lot of doom posting surrounding the skins going, oh my god, it's going to be like Call of Duty, there's going to be a Ninja Turtle shooting at a Terminator while he gets assassinated by Nicki Minaj. It's over, oh my god. So that's just typical Battlefield community reaction when it comes to that. In my opinion, I don't see a world where they start BF6's cosmetic journey off with a bunch of realistic military skins and then somehow segue it into releasing ridiculous collaborations like we see in Fortnite and Call of Duty. I just don't see it in Battlefield's future, and maybe I'll be catastrophically wrong, but I don't know. I'd be willing to bet that it's not going to go that way. And even if you look at Battlefield 2042, a couple of the skins are pretty out there, but I'd say in general, everything in 2042 is not that crazy, especially in comparison to other games. So if they didn't do it in 2042, I really don't have any reason to believe they're going to destroy the game with weird skins in BF6. Now, of course, the skin discussion brought up a separate issue within the community, which is the fact that the community is asking for a skin toggle switch, meaning basically people just want the option to turn skins off so they don't have to see them on other players while they're playing the game. This is an interesting suggestion because, in my opinion, there really isn't anything wrong with it, aside from maybe being fairly technically difficult to implement in the game itself, but I have absolutely no idea about that. Now, moving away from the topic of skins to a much more important topic, in my opinion, which is about the maps in Battlefield 6 and some of the community concerns surrounding the Battlefield 6 beta maps being quote-unquote too small in a lot of people's opinions. In my opinion, the people that said the BF6 maps are too small in the beta are just complaining for no reason, because we know for a fact we are getting far larger maps once the game releases. But this is what a developer had to say on the topic. I don't know if you know the specific answer to that, Matthew, but I do know that, first of all, there was feedback. The maps were too small, and yeah, in hindsight, maybe we should have put one of the bigger maps into the beta so that we didn't get that feedback. but we've always been planning on doing bigger maps, right? We recently tested some of the bigger maps in Battlefield Labs, and there were a bunch of reasons why we picked the maps we did for the open beta, including partly the maps that were furthest along and the most ready to show in the open beta. So I don't think we need to react to the maps aren't big enough feedback by making changes to the small maps. They're just small maps. They're different experiences, right? We do have those big maps. Those big experiences, we did run them in Battlefield Labs over the last, I believe, 2 weekends, so we've gotten feedback on those and want to make sure that those are good for the large map experience. I do know that on all the maps, we collect feedback on them. I mean, I can't answer specific questions about specifically what we changed, but we did collect a bunch of feedback and make changes. I don't know, Matthew, if I have any more specific examples, and then the developer he's referring to, Matthew, has his own answer. We looked at maps via game mode. If an MCOM on a certain map was maybe a little bit too close or an incorrect position that we deemed, there have been changes in that regard to more smooth out overall gameplay experience when it comes to maps supporting multiple modes. We want to really make sure that each map shines, and there are going to be choke points, there are going to be rough spots, and there are going to be really sick holds that are going to happen, maybe on the last push of Rush or something, but there have been active discussions and active changes when it comes to messaging things a little bit. MCOMs are moving points around when it comes to certain feedback points that were very apparent. You know, hey, this little adjustment had to happen. So that pretty much puts concerns to rest regarding whether or not there will be super large maps in Battlefield 6, and they did provide very good insight as to why they chose these specific maps they did for the BF6 beta. They were simply the most finished maps they had to offer. And I do think it is funny. A lot of the maps that were featured in the BF6 beta were urban, and I remember a distinct period in time where the Battlefield community were begging on their knees for urban maps, and as soon as they got them in the BF6 beta, they started bitching and moaning. So I truly believe this is just one of those situations where you can't please everyone. There's always going to be a section of people that is somehow dissatisfied with something and wish you did a different thing. And that segues me perfectly into the last topic of this video, which is me touching on some of the community reaction I've seen so far regarding the Battle Royale. Obviously, there was that official blog post that was just released, but of course, inevitably, there were Battle Royale leaks, and I've seen a lot of positive talk, and I've seen a lot of negative talk. There's still a section of people that quite simply don't understand that the Battle Royale is here to stay, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like, some of the people that I see comment on this subject really think it's a possibility for DICE just to scrap this and replace it with some sort of other thing. I've even seen suggestions saying they should just scrap the entire BR game mode and repurpose the giant BR map for a planet-side style Battlefield experience. Newsflash, guys. The chances of that happening are 0. At this point in time, if you're not planning on playing the BF6 Battle Royale, I just have to say, don't play it, you know? Just let people enjoy it or let it die. Simple as that. But that is going to wrap this video up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching. If you do enjoy the content and want to keep up to date with Battlefield 6, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and swing by stream. I'm live every single day at twitch.tv/enders and this very YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.